What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give you guys an update. It's been almost a year since I started an ATM business. I just closed on my second location. I'm really excited. It's a location where I've contracted the property to give me 100% profit split in exchange to ATM services to their tenants in the apartment complex. So all good stuff. Closing on the second location has been a lot of time, a lot of lessons learned from our first location. But today I just wanted to give you guys 3 tips and tricks that I've learned when starting your own ATM business. You know, when I first started this business a year ago, I didn't know anything, like 100% nothing. I invested in a course with a friend of mine to teach us how to navigate the ATM business. We took the course and we started from there. So, all right, so let's get right into it. 3 things that I wish I would have known, or things that I've learned over the last year of doing the ATM business. All right, I'm gonna just pull up some notes just for reference here. All right, so let's see. Number 1, location. Okay, you're gonna hear about this a lot when you first start in the ATM business. They're gonna say location, location, location. Makes all the difference, and it really does. Okay, while there will be locations that you go pitch to and tell them, hey, I want to place an ATM here, and they're gonna say yes, it may not always make sense for you to place an ATM at that business. Okay, I will say that if the location isn't doing over at least $500 in net profit, that means after you split profits with the business owner at the location, if you're not taking home $500, it's a really big risk, you know, to work with a location like that. Now, your first location or 2, you will have to, you know, be willing to bargain and work with what you can get. But generally, the higher you can negotiate the profit split, the better the deal, the higher the volume of transactions that are going through the property, the better. So I encourage you guys to write a list of 10 places that could potentially do $500 or more in ATM surcharge profit, and I would then tackle those type of places. Okay, one way you can also avoid, you know, getting to a location and realizing it's not as profitable as you may have expected is by asking the business owner for a, you know, total volume of transactions at that location. Okay, and then you can determine how much of those transactions are cash and how much have the potential to be using your ATM service or your ATM, and that way you can kind of have a baseline of what to go with, right? Because a lot of, you know, business owners, location owners, they will lie to you. They're gonna tell you my location does X amount, but it's the complete opposite. Okay, because you're providing them a free service to them and their customers, and it can look it's very easy to get convinced into working at a location that doesn't work for you. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, read your contracts, guys. Okay, read your contract. These are legally binding agreements, and again, I learned this at the beginning of the ATM business through the course, but there was things that I missed. Okay, for example, for some locations, you will not be needing to buy an ATM. They may already have an ATM, and you may just be asked to service the ATM. You may negotiate servicing and cash loading, and the profit split agreement is based off the services that you provide because they already had an existing ATM. Okay, that's possible, but you need to make sure that in your contract it covers the difference between an ATM you own and an ATM the business owns, because you can pay for a lot of repairs that may be your responsibility in the contract if you don't make that amendment in the contract. Okay, and I actually made this mistake when I first had my first location. I didn't actually own the ATM. I took what I could get. I went to find a location that needed an ATM to get repaired. I repaired the ATM, and then they agreed to allow me to essentially process at that location. Now, the ATM had multiple issues over the first course of this last year, And because I didn't rewrite the contract to state that the ATM owner was responsible for repairs, I ended up eating the cost of those repairs. And that took a significant chunk out of the profits that I made throughout the year at this location that was not doing, what we would say is a tier 1 location, which is 500 transactions or more in ATM surcharges. So number 2 is read your contracts, guys. Read your contracts, okay? All right, number 3, okay? During slow seasons, during times where you're busy, maybe you know that there's gonna be a week or two where you're not gonna be able to go out in the field and look for those opportunities to set up an ATM at a location or to market your business. Do not forget to practice your cold calling script, your ATM security walkthrough. Like when you go to the ATM location site, and you do a walkthrough to make sure like, hey, this is actually a good place to put an ATM. This is what the setup requires. Practice that, okay? Pretend like there's a business owner there and you're gonna walk them through where they're gonna put the ATM, what the ATM needs, maybe some technical information about the ATM. Make sure to stay up to date and constantly be training. My first year, there was months where I didn't necessarily do a lot of marketing for new locations. And then when the opportunity arose and I had a conversation with someone that needed an ATM, I was a bit slow to pick back up on all the things that I had learned. So, as any business should, it's important to train throughout the year so that you stay up to date on the latest and greatest in the ATM business, and you stay up to date on the latest and greatest in your own business and the marketing that you created, and being creative with how you do kind of that outbound efforts to find locations. Okay, now that's number 3. I'm gonna give you guys a 4th, which is a bonus, and this is something that I did to pair with my ATM services, which is start credit card processing, okay? It is a great way to increase money that you're making from your ATM business, okay? You can do credit card services through a third party, for example, like Paid Pro Tech. They allow you to essentially use their branding to market credit card services through your company. Now, right now, we are still marketing it as Paid Pro Tech, as our company powered by Paid Pro Tech. But in the near future, the goal is to pay for, branding so that we're solely branded under Consistent Cash and there is no powered by Paid Pro Tech. And the reason I say do credit card processing is every location you're gonna go to pitch them an ATM deal, they're gonna need credit card services 99.9% of the time. And what's a better opportunity for your client to be able to say, hey, I can offer you ATM services and credit card processing services. That means POS systems, whether it's just a small Squarespace all the way up to full-blown POS systems, okay? It is a great way to make some extra money. And for some locations, pairing that with an ATM service can increase your profits from a couple hundred to over $750 to $1,000, okay? So I encourage you all to not limit yourself and call yourself an ATM business, but to really see how you can branch out and make money off of the ATM services you already are providing, okay? So those are just some quick tips and tricks for you guys that I've learned over the last year of starting an ATM business with my business partner. Again, we just closed on our 2nd location at an apartment complex. We're 2 locations in, super exciting. And I just wanted to share with you guys that. And good luck to everyone, no matter what business you're in. I'm wishing the best for all of you. All right, peace.